Hey, what's up, my YouTube fam? I'm back. This is Larry with the best credit repair channel. And today we're going to be talking about what's the difference between consumer law and the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And why are people starting to kind of talk more about consumer law when it comes to credit reporting? Are they giving you the right information? Are they misleading you? That's what we're going to talk about today. I think it's really important that we cover this. I've just been talking to people that have been calling me about, their credit and calling me about they've spent this amount of money or they've spent this amount of money. I mean, I've talked to people two, three, $4,000 for information, and I just shake my head because I just feel like people are misleading people in this space, and I'm not going to be complicit in it. I know it's happening, so I'm going to bring it to your attention and bring you the truth of the matter. This is why this is the best credit repair channel. I'm going to break it down to you and let you think about. I want that wheel to be turning in your head when people are talking to you about this, where they don't take your not being educated in this space and using it against you to convince you of something, right? Or convince you if this is the way. And we're going to talk about all this and we're going to break everything down for you. But first, I'm going to say thank you for all my new subscribers coming to the channel. I appreciate you. This is the best credit repair channel. Please like, subscribe, and share. All we do on this channel is talk about truth, honesty, integrity when it comes to credit. And that's just how we're going to do it here. So, and I feel good when I bring people the real information and let them know the truth of it and following through, man. And that's just being honest. That's just being upfront about it. But I can tell there's some people that's not being real honest. There's some people out there that's more worried about views and selling something that is a bunch of wolf tickets, if you ask me. But it is what it is. I'm not a hater. That's why I'm not gonna call no names. You do what you do, but I'm not gonna sit here and allow things to be said that I know is untrue, and I'm gonna prove it's untrue because this is the fact, and you as a consumer need to know that you can trust people to be honest with you, right? So that's it. And then we're going to get started. So the first thing I'm going to read you, a lot of people talk about consumer law, but people, I don't really think understand what is consumer law, right? What is consumer law? What does it really pertain to? But I'm going to read you the definition of consumer law, right? And this is from, I got this information called Fine Law, right? So I like to dig into, I'm not a lawyer, but I like to look at the legal side of everything because it helps me better understand, is this true? Can we force this on a creditor or the credit bureaus or whatever? That's what I like to look at. And then what I like to look at is, can I find a court case to substantiate the information I'm trying to get at? That's important. And I'll explain more to you about that. But what does it say in fine law about consumer law? It says consumer law involves all the regulations and statutes that seek to create a more equitable balance for buyers in the marketplace and to prevent sellers from using dishonest tactics. A consumer is an individual who purchases goods or services which may be sold by manufacturers, wholesalers, and retailers. Both state and federal law plays a role in regulating consumer law. The laws range from prohibiting false advertisement and imposing product safety measures to regulating debt collection practice and protecting consumers' identity information. Consumers often find themselves needing legal help after falling victim to an online scam, purchasing a car or other products without being told of hidden defects, or losing money in financial schemes such as identity theft or unauthorized credit charges. Now, if you listen to it, says nothing about credit reporting, right? Nothing about credit reporting, right? So pay attention to that because there's a lot of people that want to try to say certain things about what consumer law and credit reporting and how This relates to credit reporting, which will allow you to get the credit bureaus to remove something from your credit report and charge you lots of money for it. So so that's what consumer law is. It really covers a little bit of a different area. Now there are parts of consumer law that talks about credit, right? But we're gonna dig a little deeper. We're gonna go over to another side. So, U.S. This is one of the codes in Fair Credit Reporting Act. U.S. Code 1681 is called the Congressional Findings and Statement of Purpose, right? Congress makes the following findings that say the banking system is is a dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting. So what I'm saying is Congress understand that the banking system requires fair and accurate reporting because the extension of funds and money and being paid back the money, right? So because we continue to increase in our debt, we have to be able to, if we take loans based on our society and how it's structured, we have to pay it back to call so our financial will not collapse in the country, good lord, in the country, right? That's why it's important, right? So credit reporting is very important because nobody wants to be giving out something that they can't get back. Nobody wants to give out. Nobody's going to rent out nobody's going to rent out an apartment and not get paid rent. Nobody's going to rent out a house and not get paid mortgage. Nobody's going to give a credit card and you use it and don't get paid back for it, right? None of that. So we all have to pay back our debt. It is a key part of how our financial status is structured here in this country, right? So I'm going to continue on. Inaccurate credit reporting directly impairs the efficiency of the banking system. And unfair credit reporting methods undermine the public confidence, which is essential to continue functioning the bank system. Right, we have to trust our banking system. We're putting our money in the banks. We're having our direct deposits go into the bank. We have to have a confidence in the banking system. So credit reporting is very important. An elaborate mechanism has been developed for investigating and evaluating. You heard I said develop, investigating and evaluating credit worthiness, credit standing, credit capacity, character, general reputation of the consumer. The credit reporting agencies have assumed a vital role assembling and evaluating consumer credit and other information on their credit. So yes, you hear people talk about they assume a role, but the government, yes, the credit bureaus are a private organization. They are not a government-run organization. They are a private organization. So what happened is the government said, you know what, since you're private, we need to regulate your organization. That, boom, comes the Fair Credit Reporting Act, because those are the laws that govern. There are other things that can be used based on laws to help you get something removed off your credit report if it violated certain statutes of law, Fair Billing Act, HIPAA laws. There's other things that could affect and get stuff removed off of your credit report, right? But the Fair Credit Reporting Act is how you're going to sue the credit bureaus and how you're going to sue a creditor. Right, unless they broke some law some law outside of the Fair Credit Reporting Act that may help you get something removed because they're in violation. But typically, you're gonna have to use the Fair Credit Reporting Act, right? So that is what's so important. Listen, reasonable procedures. It is the purpose of the subchapter to require that consumers reporting agencies adopt reasonable procedures for meeting the needs of the commerce for consumer credit, personal insurance, and other information in a manner which is fair and inequitable to the consumer, which regards to its confidentiality, accuracy, relevance, and proper utilization of such information in accordance with the requirements of this chapter. So when people talk to you about where they assumed a role, yes, they assumed a role, and the government created the Fair Credit Reporting Act to govern their role, right? So when you hear some people talk about try to get too deep into consumer law, like it's this holy grail that is going to trump the Fair Credit Reporting Act, they're really misleading you. And they're just going to be honest. They're misleading you because, be honest with you, you're not really that educated. So it's easy to manipulate somebody that's not educated. They sound good. It sounds great. But do they tell you the whole story? Do they read? And I'm going to give you a prime example. What's going around a lot lately is people telling you late payments are illegal, but they're not reading all of it to you, right? So I'm going to read this out of, see, you have to know, I'm going to read this out of the U.S. Ooh, knock my mic down. I'm tripping. I'm going to read this out of the U.S. Code. You can get this book. Now, you can get this book, the U.S. Code. It has a lot of stuff in here that you could read and understand, especially when it comes to 1681. So let's read. It's called Time to Make Payment. That's what it's called, because people out there telling you that late payments are illegal. So creditors may not treat a payment on a credit card account under an open-end consumer credit plan as late for any purpose. See, what they did, they stopped right there. They stopped. But it was more to it. There was more to it. Unless, that's a big word, unless the creditor has adopted reasonable procedures designed to ensure that each periodic statement, including the information required by the section 1631B of this title, is mailed or delivered to the consumer not later than 21 days before the payment due date. Now, did you hear that? There's nothing in there says that late payments are illegal. And they keep running to this section 15 code 166B, timing of payments. So when they tell you and you go out and spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, think you're going to get all your late payments removed because they're telling you illegal, you have to go and research and read. Get this book for y'all people. Get it. It helps you out. Now, I'm not finished. It talks about grace period. If an open-ended consumer credit plan provides a time period within which an obligator may repay any portion of the credit extended without incurring an additional finance charge, such additional finance charge may not be imposed with respect to such portions of the credit extending for the billing cycle of which such period is a part, unless, see what I'm saying? They stop, but they don't tell you the second part of that, unless there's a second part of that, unless, let me follow. It says portion, I've lost, unless a statement which includes the amount upon which the finance charges for the period is based was mailed or delivered to the consumer no later than 21 days before the date specified in the statement by which the payment must be made in order to avoid imposition of that finance charge, right? So they read you part of it, but don't read you all of it, because it says unless in both of them. You can't, it is a late payment if they didn't mail. Now a lot of people have paperless. So if they didn't email you your statement 21 days before the due date, then yes. And you were late, then they cannot report a late payment. That's the truth. That's the complete truth. But if they did, emailed you or sent out that letter, mailed it, post stamp date on that letter 21 days before that due date, and you're late, then it ain't illegal. So that's the stuff that, man, just it irks me when people talk about that. But there's other areas in this book. Prompt fairness of crediting of payment. When your payment should be credited. There are so many things in there that you need to understand. And then some of these people are using some of these things, and be honest with you, tricking you to think that they're selling you something, but they're not. They're twisting the words, getting you believe that the creditors are doing something illegal when they're not. Now, fact, a creditor is not required by law to report to the credit bureau. They don't have to. They can never report if they don't want to. But if they do report, they have to report complete, accurate, and verifiable information. If any of those three they can't do, then the account must be deleted. It's just the fact of it. They have to be able to complete the three. And there's a lot of inaccuracies on credit reports. But what you have to realize is how far you're going to take it. Are you actually going to sue them for it? Are you actually going to take them to court for it? That's the problem. They're betting that you're not. That's why they do it. Enough of us as consumers don't take them to court. And because we don't take them to court, they don't fix the plan. Now, if you read deeper and you get in there are some things that they're trying to do to improve how the financial credit, the financial protection Bureau is probably Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Good Lord. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or when you really start looking into what they got going on underneath the scene, it's really looking to try to improve on how the credit reporting agencies are investigating or fixing, and the whole process of how they're dealing with consumers' credit. They are underneath. When you start looking at it now, how effective they are, that's a different story, because they were $1 billion operation. They sell information. They sell our information. They make tons of money off the money that they sell. Creditors are looking at your credit report, and they're selling it to creditors, and then they're going and saying, hey, they may want to get this credit card. That's why you get all them credit card offers in the mail. They sell all our information. Probably if everybody in the United States opt out of it, they would limit the amount of money they make. But a lot of people are not educated in that, so it would probably be very difficult, and they know that. But if all of us as consumers say, we're going to everybody opt out, they can't sell our information, that would limit a lot of money that they could get from the creditors, right? And then you just go on and apply for what you wanted to. So that's a lot of things. But this book really breaks down. It talks about changes by card issuers. This is all the information that lets you know, is it accurate? Is it not? Right? There's just a lot of information out there. I talked about, people saying, you hear a lot of people talking, freeze your report. Freezing your report doesn't stop the credit bureaus from looking at it. I've put that out in the video, right? Because they can monitor. Same thing with that. I went a video on that, talked about that. There's just so much inaccurate information out there. And because of social media, so many people are getting in this space and just really charging people money and doing them a disservice. I'm not going to be a part of that plan, right? So there's so many things that you need to understand. Like, be careful. This is what I tell people. Like, you can never go wrong with this method. Somebody tells you it's something illegal, like late payments are illegal. You can go into this Google court cases for late payments. Just Google it. You're probably going to come up with something that you can type in court cases late payments. And you're probably going to figure out, okay, are the late payments illegal, or did the creditor not do something that made that payment illegal? That's the question. The problem is a lot of us as consumers, we don't go dig. We automatically take some of these people that are not lawyers, have never stepped in a courtroom and fought a court case, and want to use legal terms and talk in legal spectrums, right? And we want to believe them like they know what they're talking about. But believe me, they selling you land that they ain't got. They trying to tell you to fit this circle in a square. You may get part of it in there, but you're not going to get the whole thing through. So that's just my video for the day, because I get clients that talk about this stuff all the time, right? You really have to do your research in this space. You really need to do it legitimately. Quit trying to find tricks, right? I feel bad for people that pay $5,000 to get information and then not using that money to start moving their credit in the right space. It's a lot of money. You could do a lot with that if you know how to build, right? But I just feel bad when people doing that. Yeah, you may get a couple things removed and you think, oh man, this is the best thing. But then you run into, well, this ain't working. This ain't working. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So, I mean, I just want to make sure that people understand, do your research. Don't let people just tell you stuff, especially on social media, because a lot of these people don't know what they're talking about. A lot of people are misleading y'all. But do your research. I mean, you could even with me. Look, I'm open game. Do your research. Have consumer law people come on there and try to talk to me and try to, man, you don't know, this guy don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. And then you know what I hit them with? Okay, then show me a court case so prove to me I'm wrong. Man, I ain't got to prove nothing to you. I ain't got to prove nothing to you. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, if I don't know what I'm talking about and you're such an expert, where are the facts? Where is the proof? Where are the results? You can say all this stuff, but I've never seen any results. I just hear you talk about it. But where are the results? What was the step 1, 2, 3? Right? You don't go to a dealer and pay for a car you never drove. You never seen. They just talked about it. We all go places and we look, feel, and touch before we buy. We don't buy before we go through all that. So that's the whole thing. Even in this space, like even when you talk to, I have to show you. I have to show you. And I tell my clients, nothing is guaranteed in this space. It is guaranteed. If you have something that's reporting inaccurate and I dispute it for you, and I tell you, they're reporting it inaccurate, they haven't fixed it. And we went through the whole process. And we talked to the creditor, and the creditor failed to fix it. I just set up everything for you. Your step next is, they don't want to fix it. I'm going to go and file and get paid for the violations. That's my job, to set you up so if I can't get it fixed, that you can take them to court. Or you can hire a lawyer and say, listen, we disputed this. Look. This was showing what was inaccurate. This is what we disputed. They failed to fix it. We followed up with them. We even circled what was inaccurate on that credit report. We disputed it, lined it out that this is what's reporting on your official credit report, and they failed to fix it. We even sent out the third letter saying that if we don't fix it, we have no choice but to contact the consumer lawyer and file suit on this inaccurate reporting because you're failing to fix it. And then you take it to the man, and then or you can do it yourself, do a little bit of research on how to go to court and take them to court and then sue them. People sue them all the time. Some people is not going to put up with it. But as a society, we have to start use the system they put in place in our favor. But that's my job. My job is not to try to fool you into a bunch of stuff. My master dispute package just has tons of information. You don't hear me tell you dispute letters. And when people ask me, I want you to dispute, I say, hey, those letters in there are a guide. There's really a lot of information to help you produce the best dispute letter that's for you. But even if you buy the package, I will help you. I am still your guide. I will still help you through that process, right? That's what we should be doing in this space, helping you. I have over a 700 credit score. I have over $100,000 in personal credit. I use only less than 10% of my, I am looking to further buy into a franchise and continue to grow. Those are the things that I'm trying to do. So this right here that I do on YouTube is I have a full-time job. I have an operational man, I have a full-time job. So I go to work every day and I do this part-time because it will help you. I'm trying to help you. But some of these people out here, they just trying to die. I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do. Maybe they're trying to buy a Lambo or something. But taking advantage of people is just not what I'm good at, you know. Integrity, honesty. 20 years in the military, was an ex-drill sergeant and instructor. So I'm all about making sure we take care of each other. That's my job. And if I'm going to be in this space in front of you, talking to you, giving you information, it's based on integrity and honesty. If I never get 50,000 subscribers, I never get 50,000 subscribers. But at the end of the day, I know I bring you truth and honesty. And that's what's meant. And when I lay my head down at night, I know I was being truth and honesty, and good things that come back to me because of that. And I truly believe that. So that's what I talk about. I get frustrated sometimes when I hear people paying money like that to people, and then people listening to that, and I hear people, man, you heard about they out there talking about late payments are illegal. I'm like, late payments are illegal? Who's saying late payments are illegal? Then you go look it up, you got people talking about late payments are illegal. And other people on top of that are supporting them, telling them that late payments are illegal. They ain't even did no research. Like you can't even come on my channel saying that. I've been like, you blocked. You can't come on telling that unless you're gonna show me verbatim and show my people how you did it and the results you did it. If you can't do that, can't come on my show just telling that stuff. Not on this, not on the Best Credit Repair channel. But anyway, hey, this is Larry with I Invented for the Day. Hopefully I got your wheels turning in your head. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for subscribing to the channel. But this channel is all about keeping it real. And all y'all people talking about some consumer law, show me the facts. If you can show me the facts, I'm a man of my word. I'll just say no. All right, but they just never do. And I'm out.